Jesse Hopson Arnold, 1889 to 1958. Part 3, Santa Ana Canyon, Past and Present. In the 1970s, I drive to the ranch house in Santa Ana Canyon. I haven't seen the place for 20 years, but it looks the same. At the time, Dick and Buck still owned the 9 acres below the house, an inheritance from their parents. I walk up to the front door and knock. No one is home. I walk to the garage and look in a side window. Inside the garage, I see Jess's old workbench and his tools for cutting and threading lead pipe. I feel dizzy as I look at the familiar scene. I have the same sensation several minutes later when I walk through a gate on a path below the house and look at an old rusty disking plow. In both cases, a stored image in my brain, unaccessed for 20 years, snaps into register with the image before me. In the years after Jess and Louise are gone, I sometimes dream of the ranch. In one dream, I buy the ranch and drive there to spend the weekend. In 2012, my daughter Hillary Godwin contacts the current owners of the ranch house. The owners graciously invite us to their home and give us a tour of the remodeled house. Before we take that tour, let us briefly review the history of Europeans in Santa Ana Canyon. In 1542, Juan Rodriguez Gabriel sails north along the Baja California coastline and then north to San Francisco Bay. He claims the land in the name of the Spanish crown. Spanish occupation of California begins with the establishment of a fort, a presidio, and a mission at San Diego in 1769. In the ensuing decade, presidios and missions are established at Santa Barbara, Monterey, and San Francisco. Small towns, pueblos, and ranchos spring up near and between the presidios. Here we see a painting of the Pueblo of Monterey in 1826. In the 1840s and 1850s, the Yorba family operates 6 adjacent ranchos in what is now Orange County in Southern California. The red pentagon denotes the location of the Arnold Ranch house in what was Rancho Santiago de Santa Ana. The Santa Ana River is shown as a blue line. The diagonal red line near the top of the diagram is the boundary between Orange and Riverside counties. The ranchos of Spanish California maintain immense herds of cattle. The meat and hides from their herds are sold to trading ships that stop at ports such as San Pedro along the California coast. For vivid detail, see Richard Henry Dana's first-hand account of the cattle-based commerce in Spanish California in his 1841 book, 2 years before the mast. Rancho Santiago de Santa Ana is the largest of the 6 Yorba ranchos. It is established in 1810 and occupies an area of 70,000 acres. In the middle of the 1800s, the ranchero way of life changes dramatically. First, Mexico tries to control California and uprisings ensue. By 1848, California is an independent region, no longer under Mexican control. In 1850, California is granted statehood. The new state agrees in principle to honor existing Spanish land concessions and Mexican land grants. In practice, many families, including the Yorbas, lose control of their lands. In this way, the land that was once Rancho Santiago de Santa Ana becomes the property of the state of California. In 1885, Jotham Bixby acquires an interest in the rancho lands in part of the Anaheim Hills region. In 1940, the Bixby family sells 2 20-acre plots to Frank Monte and Jesse Arnold. At the time of that purchase, the land looks much as it did for the preceding 130 years of cattle grazing. For the first few years at his ranch, Jesse follows in the footsteps of the rancheros that preceded him in Santa Ana Canyon. He buys a few head of cattle, lets them graze and grow, and then butchers them for meat. I am a spectator when the carcass is pulled up to the crossbar with block and tackle for butchering. The quantity of blood that flowed out of the steer and onto the concrete pad amazes me. The size of the steer's internal organs is also astounding. The shooting and butchering of the steer shocks my 8-year-old sensibilities. It does not occur to me that I am witnessing the end of 140 years of cattle ranching in the canyon. I don't listen when Spanish California whispers, "Adios, muchacho." The skulls of the butchered steers are picked clean by vultures and foxes and coyotes. The California sun bleaches them white. Jess extracts 3 large teeth, drills holes through them, and makes 3 necklaces with rawhide thongs. When he gives Monty, Chris, and me our necklaces, our mothers are irritated. "Oh, Jess, why did you give them those nasty old things?" Jess doesn't say anything, but we know that the precious necklaces are ours to keep. Vast changes occur in the landscape of Santa Ana Canyon from 1947 to 1994. In the 1947 view, we see just 2 hilltop residences. The Knoll Ranch house is in the upper right. The red pentagon indicates the Arnold Ranch house. In 1994, the 2 hilltop houses are present, but they are surrounded by suburban neighborhoods. These neighborhoods now occupy the entire local area of Rancho Santiago de Santa Ana. In the immediate vicinity of the hilltop houses, the steepest slopes are open. In the 1940s, they are covered by grass and cactus. Now they are covered with chaparral. Let us now tour the 2012 ranch house. As we approach the front of the original Arnold Ranch house, we see the ends of 2 arms of the house, the one on the left obscured by a pepper tree. The 2012 entrance is very different from the old one. A segment has been added between the 2 ends of the 2 arms. The entryway sits midway on this segment. New garages have been added at the 2 ends of the front of the house. An entry segment lies between them. As we pass through this entryway, we encounter an enclosed courtyard with a pond. The 2 arms of the house are just as they were in the 1950s, except that a sliding glass door has been added to the connecting segment. It lies straight ahead. Inside the house, the living room with its view of the patio and beyond looks much as it did in the 1950s. Straight ahead, we see the dining room with its bay window and fireplace. On the other side of the living room, the owners have installed a bar that faces the enclosed courtyard. Louise's bedroom looks much as it did when Louise slept there. Likewise, the bathroom has barely changed. Stepping out onto the patio from the living room, we are surprised by a new infinity pool. Far in the distance, we see the Chino Hills on the other side of the Santa Ana River Valley. All of the intervening land is now covered by suburbs. Dick painted an abstract vision of this distant view as it appeared in the 1940s. After visiting the new ranch house and talking to the new owners, I stopped dreaming about the ranch. My subconscious decides to turn the page. Composing these videos about Louise and Jess helps my conscious mind deal with my childhood with my grandparents and their ranch. I wish you well in your own reckoning with the past.